It has been estimated that, unless checked, the annual wage and salary bill in private industry will shrink over $20 billion. That is not going to do anybody any good. Labor, business, agriculture, or the general public. The corner grocer is going to feel it, as well as the department store, the railroads, the theaters, the gas stations, and all the farmers of the nation. It is a sure road to wide unemployment. That is what is known as deflation. It is just as dangerous as inflation. However, we must understand that we cannot hope, with a reduced work week, to maintain now the same take-home pay for labor, generally, that it has had during the war. There will have to be a drop. But the nation cannot afford to have that drop too drastic. Wage increases are therefore imperative to cushion the shock to our workers, to sustain adequate purchasing power, and to raise the national income. I am convinced that if labor and management will approach each other with the realization that they have a common goal, and with the determination to compose their differences in their own long-range interest, it will not be long before we have put industrial strife behind us. Labor is the best customer management has, and management is the source of labor's livelihood. Both are wholly dependent upon each other, and the country, in turn, is dependent upon both.
The reconversion of war plants to peacetime pursuits is going ahead at full speed, and once more the automobile factories are humming as huge stamping presses form the bodies of the first automobiles produced since the spring of 1942. Prices on these 1946 models will be slightly higher, but with all priorities lifted, America will be on wheels once more. And there'll soon be plenty of tires like these synthetics to replace the threadbare ones now gracing many a car. Yes, soon you'll have that long-awaited refrigerator in the kitchen, along with a new stove. The assembly lines are rolling merrily. If your radio goes dead, cheer up. There'll be 1 million available by Christmas. Many new inventions will grace store shelves. This cordless iron, for example, eliminates many of the nuisances connected with the family wash. To lighten household labor and make for better living, this is just one of the gadgets due on the market. Store windows are once more blossoming as they did before Pearl Harbor, with every gadget dear to Americans. And by the thousands, people are flocking to automobile display rooms for a preview of the new automobiles. 60,000 visited one sales room in 5 days for a peek. Now we'll have our rewards of victory. Peace is wonderful.
General Yamashita, the Tiger of Manila, appears before a military commission in Japan to answer charges of brutal atrocities and other high crimes against our armed forces in the Philippines. In addition to his savage treatment of Allied soldiers, he was responsible for the butchery and rape of thousands of Philippine citizens by Japanese troops. These are Signal Corps pictures. Before the trials court, headed by Major General R.B. Reynolds, the arch criminal pleads, believe it or not guilty. In Washington, President Truman opens the victory loan by buying the first bond from Secretary of the Treasury Vinson. Our road to victory over the Axis was paved with bond purchases. General Jonathan Wainwright, hero of Bataan and Corregidor, speeds the bond drive opening in Philadelphia, where he appears with Governor Martin of Pennsylvania and members of the Wainwright family, who are thankful for the bond purchases which delivered the general and his comrades from Jap prisons. At the Roosevelt home in Hyde Park, the War Activities Committee of the motion picture industry stages a Bond rally where Colonel James Devereaux, hero of Wake Island, starts the ball rolling. Merle Oberon, Universal Screen star, registered applications for Roosevelt bonds, and the Victory loan is off to a flying start.